And that mission was to get Prince to a doctor in Minnesota on Thursday morning. He contacted a trusted colleague of his. That Minnesota doctor cleared his schedule for Thursday morning to provide privacy to Prince. Prince did not show up for that appointment on Thursday morning. The second part of Dr. Kornfeld's plan was to send his son, a staff member, for Recovery Without Walls, which is an outpatient clinic in Mill Valley, California. Andrew did a red-eye flight, was picked up at the airport by Prince representatives, taken to a hotel in the Chanhassen area close to Paisley Park. He was picked up again at about 9:30 and taken to Paisley Park. Andrew's purpose in being there was to describe the Recovery Without Walls program, to familiarize Prince with that. Prince could go there for pain management and any addiction issues. This is something that Andrew has done for years, has been a spokesman for the program and to convince patients to go there and how it would be in their best medical interest to go there. So he had asked to meet with Prince that morning. Prince at some point that morning was scheduled to meet with the Minnesota doctor. When he arrived, Prince was not available. They went looking for Prince, couldn't initially find him. They saw the staff representatives apparently found him in an elevator, unconscious. One of the staff members started screaming. Andrew heard the screams and went to the elevator where he saw that Prince was unconscious. Andrew was the person to make the 911 call describing a medical emergency at Paisley Park. Andrew was Mill Valley, California, not locally. He didn't have the address for Paisley Park. The 911 call doesn't have an address. He didn't know the address. He was at Prince's place, Paisley Park. Andrew and everyone at the scene was interviewed by the Carver County Sheriff's Office that morning. Andrew went back to San Francisco that night. Although Andrew had in his possession small pills, those pills were to be delivered to the Minnesota doctor. There were no pills, any type of medication given to Prince by Andrew or by Howard. Those pills were taken into possession by the Carver County Sheriff. It is my belief that the Good Samaritan 911 law, providing immunity for people who make a 911 emergency call, are to receive immunity for any medications, any controlled substances found on the scene, will provide statutory immunity to Andrew relating to the medications that were found in his backpack on the scene. And again, no drugs were ever administered. There was never any intention of drugs being administered to Prince by Andrew or by Dr. Kornfeld.
Can you describe how urgent, sir, that phone call was on the 20th?
Dr. Kornfeld felt that his mission was a life-saving mission. So in that sense, certainly he felt it to be urgent.
Why tell the story?
Dr. Kornfeld was intending to fly to Minnesota on Friday, but the first step of the plan was to have him meet with the Minnesota doctor on Thursday before Dr. Kornfeld couldn't clear his busy schedule to come to Minnesota.
Why tell this story now?
The Star Tribune contacted me. They knew that I represented Andrew and Dr. Kornfeld. They seem to have significant sources. I don't know if those sources are within the Carver County sheriff's office, but I certainly have not publicized in any way the fact that I was represented. So my belief is the only logical source is within the Carver County Sheriff's Office. Star Tribune was going to run a story. It was a question whether I should comment on the story or let it run. I think we were able to influence the story that was written, that appeared in today's paper, by giving truthful explanations for what happened.
Are you concerned that the sheriff is interested in charging Andrew with something?
I am concerned about that. I believe that the Good Samaritan 911 call by Andrew will provide statutory immunity to him.
Can you tell us what those pills were?
Buprenorphine. It's used in pain management and addiction.
And he was planning to give that to the doctor here.
Yes. So it was doctor. Yeah.
Was Pence fighting any other addiction or any other illnesses other than painkiller addiction?
You know, I can't comment on. There still remain issues of patient confidentiality post-mortem. Dr. Kornfeld was never able to meet Prince, never talked to Prince, and was sadly not able to arrive in time to help Prince. So, and I don't know the answer to that question.
Was any Narcan at the scene? Was Narcan ever administered to reverse the overdose?
I don't know that. Yes.
Did Prince know about the incident?
Yes.
Was April 20th the first day that Prince's representative contacted Dr. Kornfeld?
The first time he was contacted by Prince representative was the evening of Wednesday, April 20th.
So they had never met.
Never met, never talked.
Never direct conversation.
Never talked.
Nothing.
Correct.
What time was that conversation you felt was
He did. Yes.
Was there anything wrong in his vaccination?
The what?
Was there anything wrong in his vaccination?
Well, there are some inaccuracies. They did describe the medication on the scene, but that medication is used in pain management as well as addiction. And Dr. Kornfeld is well known in both pain management and addiction.
Beyond the initial statement made at the scene when talking to investigators, have investigators reached back out to the Kornfelds in the last 2 weeks? Has Andrew been interrogated, interviewed in any sort of formal setting that you were a part of?
He has not been interviewed since I assumed representation, which was the afternoon of April 21st.
Can you describe what Andrew
Who else besides
Prince looked like?
Andrew was there at the scene to Tom Prince?
Representatives of Prince. I don't think it's useful to give those names. Couple, yeah.
Can you describe what Prince looked like in the elevator?
Unconscious.
Describe
Unconscious.
any other details?
No.
And are you representing both the son and the father?
At the present time, yes.
Did they feel the need to hire you because of the investigation? They wanted somebody here. What was the reason to reach out to you?
He was taken into custody and interviewed and told it was a criminal investigation.
One more question.
Would Prince still be alive today had the document?
Well, all hindsight, of course. He wishes he had had the opportunity to meet with him and treat him along with the local Minnesota doctor.
Should the doctor have called local health officials since he thought it was so important to send his son on an overnight red-eye to get here?
He did call a Minnesota doctor, and he talked to that Minnesota doctor. The Minnesota doctor opened his morning schedule, canceled all his patients, and was there all morning waiting for Prince to arrive. So that was part of the plan, yes.
But
That
not
was Thursday morning or Wednesday?
Thursday morning, yeah. He got the phone call on Wednesday evening, and he immediately contacted a Minnesota doctor because he couldn't get there himself, yeah. That doctor would do an assessment to get a feel for the nature of the problem and make some recommendations and treat him if need be at that time. And Dr. Kornfeld would arrive on Friday, the next day.
Can you describe Andrew's role at the firm? See a doctor?
He is not a doctor. He was a pre-med student. He intends to go to medical school.
Is it common for him to act on his father's behalf?
Yes, he's on the staff of Recovery Without Walls. And his role on that staff has been to meet with prospective patients at Recovery Without Walls. So this was the type of mission that he's been on other times.
Can you expand on what a grave medical emergency is? Can you say, what was the extent of his addiction?
I don't know the answer to that question.
How is Andrew doing after being there and discovering not just a person who had passed away, but someone as iconic as Prince? How was that on him?
Well, it was difficult. It was difficult. Arrive after a red eye and go to talk to Prince in a positive way, and he arrives to see him dead in an elevator, unconscious in an elevator. So it was certainly a difficult time for him.
Bill, were the Kornfelds aware of any other medical condition that Prince was suffering from in relation to what was...
I don't have any information. I have no information on that. And,
As a pre-med student, did he try and do any CPR or any recitation on Prince while he was
no,
in
he called 911. And
But he's trained in those types of things.
Yes.
And did he attempt them?
I don't believe so. But the paramedics were on their way and arrived in a couple minutes.
Have you or your client spoken to the DEA?
No. I can't see you around your sofa.
Have you spoken to any of the recovery companies?
Yes. That's what defense lawyers do. I've talked to him many times.
You getting any word then on when we expect the
I really don't have any information on that.
Did Andrew indicate whether or not he thought Prince had already passed away before he got there?
He said he was unconscious. He wasn't making a medical assessment. He did the right thing in that situation, which is to call 911 and get some paramedics there. Alert them. The paramedics arrived in a couple minutes.
Can you say who the local doctor is?
I won't. I won't.
Did you say the local doctor was going to meet him at Paisley Park or somewhere else?
At the doctor's office on Thursday morning.
And Kornfeld's talked to Prince by phone at all, or any direct contact?
No direct contact. No. Andrew was there Thursday morning to initiate that contact and talk about the recovery program.
So he was supposed to initiate contact with together they bring in those doctors that's local to make the assessment.
Well, whether they went there together or not, he was in touch with a local Minnesota doctor and would. Well, that was the thought. Yeah, that was the thought.
As a pre-med student, was Andrew legally allowed to carry the...
I'm really not going to comment on that.
Last question.
All right, last question.
What was the hope? To bring Prince to California for extended treatment?
The hope was to get him stabilized in Minnesota and convince him to come to Recovery Without Walls in Mill Valley. That was the plan.
Thanks.
All right? Good.
you.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, I missed it. We didn't get the time. Just get a little bit silence. We're gonna head right in.